I was sitting here watching some old newsreel. It's the thing is the Jig in the Jungle, Swing for My Supper, Cow Cow Boogie, and it was uncomfortable for you to watch the Jig in the Jungle. She's 19 years old. She's a skinny little thing, but she's got they're making her do all the sexual things with the feathers on her hips and things and stuff. And Dorothy's so pretty to me. She's so cute. Her face is, to me is exquisite. I would look at her and think, her little mouth. But I grew up I grew up in Las Cruces, New Mexico, around a lot of Mexico women that have similar features and stuff. So I grew up thinking, yeah, that's reasonable for a young man like me to think that I could wake up every morning with brown eyes like that and cute little lips and a tiny little nose and I could have kids and we could have a good life. So I always knew I wasn't unreasonable when I fell over, because Yolanda Ray in school had a lot. She had big brown eyes and stuff, and a lot of little girls I knew, and Rhea Lucero, there are a lot of little girls I grew up with had that similar kind of look. Okay, so you thought you could get yours, and have your little cute brown eyed girl and your cute little brown eyed kids. And I married Amy, and I had my little Kate. Kate was not biologically mine. She was conceived with a man from Ranchester, Wyoming via El Paso that was jealous of me when we worked with kids in lockup, because all the kids in lockup said that I was the dad from Lawanda. I was the guy from Lawanda on Blood In, Bright Out. And that made Oscar and other guys, and Bob Alley, the Mexican guys, mad. He's gringo, man. He's from Las Cruces, but he's not Mexican. I tell everybody that. But I'm the only one that has the character and the courage to be like the dude from Lawanda, and you guys are they would always say that to the kids, would tell me that. No, they're like the fuckers that betray him in prison. You're him, Dad. That's what the kids are. And they said the same thing in lockup at Three Springs in Arizona too. You're the man, Mr. Parsons. You got our back, you protect us, you care about us, you're strong enough to teach us to be good men and protect each other. You're the man, you're the OG, that's what they used to call me. The OG, you're the OG, Mr. Parsons. And I would say, no, I'm white. No, you're one of us, Dad. They'll call me Dad. Dad, you're one of us. You protect us from the man. But if you watch the man, Ed Brown is, that's Dad, man. He's Chico's dad figure. He cares. He sings songs to Margie. Gets drunk and sings songs to Margie, right? It's funny. But I've been watching some of that too. But I like Jack Alverson, man. I really liked him as Willy Wonka's grandpa. Didn't y'all like him as Willy Wonka's grandpa? That little kid that plays Charlie, he has brown eyes, blue eyes that remind me of my Emily. That sweet innocence. Dad, you're a liar. Santa Claus showed up. Dad, it's so easy to fall in love. Little Judy blue eyes. So I call my Emily, stuff. But you sit and you watch these old gigs, man. When I was younger, I probably would have, oh my gosh, she'd been so fun to, I was born too late. And now I watch when I get older and I cry inside, I would go to these juke joints and be offered up as sexual candy to buy and to sell, and to be clever enough to outbuy and sell and sexual candy people into the club, And then you watch these things, the hidden bond of Dorothy Dandridge and Marilyn Monroe, and how they bonded together to take civil disobedience and turn it into a marketing scheme to empower women everywhere. And you're like, oh man, fuck a duck again. I think we'll have another. I'd like for you to listen to a joke I heard today from a man who said that he was through and turned and walked away. She tried to smile and did a while, but it seemed so out of place. Have you ever heard of a clown with teardrops streaming down her face? She's competitive. She'll compete with Madonna, and she'll compete with Whitney Houston. And they will fight for the right to party, to pretend to be the juke joint girl that had to be the sexual candy to pay everybody's bills because Dolores Parr is dead. Right? Papa Top again. But a roll of stools with a roll of fools is what all of you have on mind. Because you are the sexual chocolate candy, or the Marilyn Monroe candy of the candle in the wind. And as long as that candle keeps burning, despite all the odds, we can still fill all those arenas with people that have a sky full of lighters. And you can do the halftime show of the Super Bowl. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind, right? I'd like for you to listen to a joke I heard today from a man who said that he was through and turned and walked away. They tried to smile and did a while, but it seemed so out of place. I got a bunch of clowns on my YouTube and my TV with teardrops stringing down their face every time I connect to them in prayer. Don't say you're sorry, you're not. You're only sorry because you got caught. And this time, it can't be turned into a comic book store at the Juke Chalk's Eye Candy Juke joint for the person to be the iconic sexual chocolate and or vanilla from Nebraska to pay the bills. Was she from Nebraska or somewhere else? You know? Goodbye, Norma Jean. You know I never knew you at all, but you had the grace to hold yourself when those around you crawled. Right? Just stand for the Lord's Prayer. It's perfect. You know, when I talk to people and they philosophize with me, it's like, yeah, I didn't say, okay, well, I spent too much time thinking while you was driving, paying your bills. Okay. Get up, stand up. Okay, Lord's Prayer is perfect, right? Am I saying this is my philosophy? Am I saying this is my religion? Am I trying to sell you religion? Am I trying to ask you to buy my book? Am I trying to ask you to support my YouTube channel so it can help me more than you'll ever know? I will sell lots and lots of products held hostage by the New World Order, of the disorder of the League of Nations and the United Nations and the Paris summits and the summits of the, hey, artificial technology is going to teach us to be better philanthropists today than we were yesterday. So we're going to be the spiral staircase? Yes, the spiral staircase. What's the spiral staircase? Cupid, we don't need you now. Be on your way. I thank the Lord for love like ours that grows ever stronger, and I always will be true. You know I know you feel the same way too. Oh, I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. I sat and listened to the little girl talk about Sarah Vaughan. I'm like, yeah, I agree with you, man. But it went about like 5 minutes too long. She does this and she does this. She does. Okay, just listen. It's exquisite. It's musical candy for the ears. And those three musicians work with her and adore her and want to accompany her and her voice to just really, pay their bills. Because until the Lord's Prayer is lived, music is going to always have that, it sucks that we fucking have to live this way. What do you want to do? Get drunk, get high, fuck, and die. Sarah Vaughan, Billie Holiday. What do y'all want to do? I'd like for you to listen to a joke I heard today from a woman who said that she was through and turned and walked away. I tried to smile and did a while, but it feels so out of place. Have you ever heard of a clown with teardrops streaming down his face? All right. Hello, Walls. Hello. How things go for you today? Don't you miss her? Since she upped and walked away. Well, we ain't living the Lord's Prayer, so you're never gonna get all the love you deserve when you actually are faithfully loving, right? Women are too beautiful and kids are too cute to deny the Lord's Prayer. Okay. Get up, stand up. Okay. I implore you. Okay. If it's me and this small community and the people I talk to at Walmart, because they're the only ones that will acknowledge me. The young man who came and shook my hand when I said, I'm the only person I know that turned down $2 million a month from Facebook to stand up for the poor, to stop the murder of people having to live in apartments and die by the time they're 60 from all the carbon emission poisoning, because the only place they can afford is between Treviso and the freeway. And the young Hispanic man came up to me, shook my hand, and, yeah, let's do this, And I'm suppressed and I'm abused. And the only way I'm able to survive it is because of my physical body, my mind, and that I am the body of the spirit of the man they have made into a God. And it made me one of the strongest, most faithful, perfect human beings in the world, so I could stand up for everybody that asked me in prayer to help them when the time came. And the time came July 19th, 1966, Las Cruces, New Mexico, born of Ralph and Mary in the Valley of Shadow of Death. And my family here knows it. And it's hard because most of my Miss Chica family gets it, because they didn't turn Jesus into a god, and they didn't accept money from the Egyptian Empire all those Richard Dawkins years ago. So the Mexicans around me, they shake my hand, they say thank you. The lady at the checkout, what was her name? I forgot. But all the Mexicans around here are like, yeah, we believe you, You're the spirit of the Father that came here across the water to understand the spirit of our ancestors, that were not Aztecs, but the ones that survived the Aztecs, the way you survived the Romans, the way you survived the Habsburgs and the Tudors and the Windsors. Right. So we are alive because of God, not because of your egos. Do you understand? Well, let's hope old Miss Janet Jackson understands you don't have to purchase rights to a movie. You don't have to pretend to be Dorothy Dandridge. Just be the best mommy and sister and friend that you can be to everybody in your life, and everything's going to be all right. Okay, JJ? All right. I'm not nasty, so I'm not going to call you Miss Jackson. As I just told you, I'm not calling you that. I'll call you JJ. Okay? Okay, JJ? Dynamite. There you go. She got a crush on JJ. Right? That was funny. Okay, y'all. Well, I'm fitting to go. It was a TV show to pay our bills. That was then, this is now. Now we're living the Lord's Prayer. If we want to get together and act goofy and have fun, to reminisce and that, and having such a good time, ooh la ooh dolly ooh golly woo day, we can. Okay? We ain't got to pay nobody's bills. Okay. And I do agree with that little girl. She was talking. It was a little bit too much over the top. It was like, Sarah Vaughan is musical candy. I would also suggest going and listen to Nancy Wilson sing If Ever I Would Leave You, and listen to Ella Fitzgerald sing just about anything. I love Ella Fitzgerald, man. That woman's voice is musical candy. Oh my gosh. And then Randy Crawford. And I was all wondering, Phoebe Snow and Randy Crawford. And I was like, Ma, you love Diana Ross and Barbara Streisand, but I know Diana Ross and Barbara Streisand. It's like, why ain't y'all listening to Phoebe Snow? Okay. It's like musical butterscotch that you don't want that butterscotch to end. You want to just be able to keep sucking on it just a little bit. Why can't it last a little bit more? They told me Charlie Parker died, and I don't want the night to end, right? Phoebe Snow is just gorgeous, okay? Money ain't real. Just public domain, share that and go, wow. Aren't you glad we ain't killing each other over money anymore? We all live in the Lord's Prayer? Yeah, me too. This is a beautiful moment, and it's going to last forever. All right, peace.